All right, everyone, welcome. Happy Tuesday, and welcome to another It Belongs in a Museum, to which your response should be, so do you! Yes, that's how we're going to start off every single episode of these things. Hopefully, unless I forget. That is also possible. I forget things on a daily. But thank you for joining me. I certainly appreciate it. In this series of videos, we simply take a couple of games off my collection shelves and open them back up, take a look at them, let you know why it's still there. It's kind of a deeper dive. I used to do a series called Why It's There, where I basically just showcased a shelf, a section of games in my collection, and just briefly went through and talked about each one. This is a little bit of a deeper dive because we're going to be actually opening up the box. We're not just talking about it from the outside, showing you the components, showing you the board, talking about things that I enjoy about it, that type of stuff. What I've found is that most of the time I will either have a rather deep desire to play that game again, or I'll basically say, I don't know why I have this in my collection anymore. Maybe we'll have to at least play it one more time to see if we're going to keep it. Those kinds of things. And that's pretty much where we're going with this. We will have a poll coming up here in a little bit. One of the things that we're going to do as we head toward 10,000 subscribers, when we hit 10,000 subscribers, we're first of all going to do a 24-hour marathon. And then on top of that, we'll also be giving some games away. And I think some, if not most of those games, will probably be games that I'm going to get rid of out of my collection. And hopefully they'll be going to good homes that will play them more than I do. So that's that. Matthew Vincent is here. Hola. Does the audio equipment belong in a museum? Actually, no. It's fairly new. Operator error more often than not. And I found that, and I don't know why it does this, but I found that if I turn on the receiver before I turn on my streaming software, it doesn't automatically recognize it, which is strange. Because all I did when I posted that earlier, I just went over, I turned the receiver off, and then I turned the receiver back on, and everything was working. And that was after I opened up my streaming software. So I don't know why audio does things like that. It just does. I am not an audio technician, and I never will claim to be anything anywhere close to that. So I do not even venture to guess why it happens. It just happens sometimes. So that's the way it goes. Hi, Strider. Hi, Strider. I had to wake Strider up. He was sleeping so well on the couch, but I don't like to have him out there while I'm doing a live, because he might get it in himself to do something strange. He is actually here. He's just behind the... Anyway, that is that. Let's see. Nuno Rebello is here. Hello, Nuno. Good to see you, man. All right. Our international contingent is here. We have a few. Not a whole lot. Most of our demographic here on the Flipside is definitely American, U.S. specifically. But we do have a small but strong contingent on the other side of the pond. We have a few Portuguese people that join. We have a lady in Poland, a teacher in Poland. We have a lot of people that come on in and from the European side of the world and say hello, and we appreciate that. We really do. We like having you guys around. Ooh, it looks like we sold another t-shirt. Yeah. Sweet. Thank you, James Cross. James Cross bought a t-shirt, so we're going to get that out to you later on this afternoon or tomorrow morning. Thank you, James, for that. I appreciate it. Portugal represent. Portugal represents. Yes, thank you, Nuno. Alrighty, well, today we're going to take a look at a couple of games, as I've said earlier, that are older games. The first one that we're going to look at is actually the oldest of the two, and it is no less than, and I had to do a double take to make sure that I was reading the number correctly. This one was originally came out in 2004. Now, I can't find the year that it got a second edition because that was its first edition. The first edition came out from the Ragnar brothers, and I can't remember. That was in 2004, but Pandasaurus and IDW came in and made a revised version, or basically it was just a second edition. They didn't really change a whole lot. They just had a change of graphics and artwork and that kind of stuff and how the board looked. And I can't remember the year that it came out, but this game is 20 years old. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I cannot believe that's almost half of my time on Earth, and that is this little guy right here, Fire and Axe, a Viking Saga. Now, this is a game that I have enjoyed for a very long time. This might even be one of the first games that sparked my enjoyment of Viking-themed games. I don't know that it was the absolute first, but I'm pretty sure that it ignited something. I just really enjoyed this game a lot, and I still do. It's only about a 90-minute game, handles 3 to 5. That's one of the, I wish we could play this 2-player, but you really can't. But one of the things that oh boy, gotta fix that, hold on. I'll get back to that in just a minute. One of the things that I actually liked more about the first version of the game was it was a lot brighter. It was a lot more colorful. This one isn't as colorful, but I do like the cover a lot better than the older game. But this is one of the first Viking games that I really, really, really enjoyed, and probably is one of the ones, at least one of the ones, if not the one, that ignited my interest in Viking-themed games. So that is Fire and Axe, a Viking Saga. This is 20 years old, folks. Not this particular version, but this game is 20 years old. So let's get down to the table, and we will take a look at that, and we'll go from there. So 3 to 5 players. Alternate names are Viking Fury, and then what are some of the other ones? Invasions and Vikinger Divergesen im Eroberer. Boy, I murdered that. I'm sorry. We'll put this over here. So here is the rule book, and just to kind of show you how everything works, it does have miniatures in it. This is what the board's going to look like. All of the different, each of the small town, large town tokens, miniatures, and then on the bottom here you'll see that some of the red tokens that are going to represent points go into the large ones. There's 3 of them, and then there's 4 smaller cities that go in there, and then you also have your Viking ships as well. Here's a little way how you set up the game, and now you have the gameplay actions that you can do and all of that kind of stuff. One of the coolest things about this game, and we'll show it to you here in a little bit, but there's some card play in there, but you're basically just going around the board and you're trying to do a number of different things. So as you can see, I mean, the component quality is off the charts, really. But, and I'll show this to you here in a little bit, the size of the board is humongous. All right, so here's the size. I don't think I'll be able to fit it all on the screen. I have to move my coffee cup, for crying out loud. So you kind of get the idea just how big this board is. And it's not even because I can't fit it all on the screen currently. I'm trying to, there we go. Well, that's kind of close. That's kind of close. But you see how it's a little dark. It's a little subdued, and it's not bad. Don't get me wrong. But compared to the other one, where all of the sea areas were like blue and all of the land areas didn't have this wood grain color on it, I just didn't really like this version of it that much. But I think I got rid of my older copy, and I kick myself in the butt every time I look at this board because, man, I really enjoyed the look of the other board. Now I folded up half of the board because I want to go here and show this. This is a really cool thing because on your turn you basically had a number of days. You had a week. So each one of your turns takes a week, and that's basically your action points. So you can do something for you can load stuff up. You got to load this and load this and load this. And so you've used 3 days loading up your vessel, and then you can sail for a number of days. And the kind of seas that you're sailing into determine how far or how many days you can sail within those areas. And that was a really cool thing as well. I liked that mechanism of the seas kind of changing and the weather conditions and all of that kind of stuff. If you had to sail further than you really wanted to, you would have to lose things off of your ship, whether it be crew or resources or whatever it may have been. But it was just a really neat thing. I'm going to pull this box back over here so I can show you some of the components that are in the game. So the miniatures are actually really nice in this version of the game. So here you have one of the Viking ships, and then you have Vikings that had a couple of different. You had a couple of different what do you call molds for your Vikings. So you had guys that were warriors that had their axes and shields. Then you had the archers. I just thought the models were really, really nice, and I loved the colors that they chose as well, because you got to have green. You got to have green. But I just really enjoyed these. Oh no, one of my ships broke. Bum, bum, bum. Gotta fix that. And so here you have more of those guys in here. So you have a lot of different stuff going on. So, oh, there's actually even a shield maiden in here. I didn't even realize that. Shield maidens. That's sweet. I forgot those were in there. All right, so you kind of get that, and kind of keeping some of this stuff out here. Let me go ahead and put some of this back. Wow. My ships are busted, the green ships. I'm gonna have to fix those. Make a mental note, Sam. Fix the green ships. All right, so we're just putting that back in there. We'll leave those other ones out there just so you can see them. I don't want to get too much, make too much of a mess here. Let me also go back to the other screen so that I can see what you guys are seeing. Kabuki Kid is here. What's up? What's up? Hello, hello. But you also had black yellow. So you also had black, yellow, and red as far as colors are concerned. And then each of you have your own ships that are on the boards as well. And we'll go ahead and put these down here, I think, so you can kind of see what's going on. So you did have a couple of different sides of the ship. One that had kind of like a player aid on it that's actually on the board, but all of this stuff is the same. Or if you didn't want or need the player aid, you can just play on this side of the board. It is literally the same, but you kind of get the idea there, right? And I thought that was a pretty cool thing that they did. Let me just move these up so you can kind of see the difference between the two. And then, of course, you had them in all of the different player colors as well. Then you had these city and town miniatures that were freaking awesome as well. So these are the big ones that go there like that, and then the small ones would be like this right here, and it would be set up like so, but then you'd have the big ones that are out here too as you set them out across the board. So they were just really neat things. I think the only place to actually get them are the ones that have the stars on them. So there's another one down here, Seville, and so I'm just giving you an idea of what it would look like set up with all of these different things on there. But these were really neat. I really enjoyed these. And so basically, if you conquered one of these things, you'd turn it over, and that's how many points you would get from the actual game. I'm sorry, added to your actual score. So that's a really neat thing as well about the game. And the component quality is just great. So that's that. One of the cool things about it was this little dial here. Is that on the board? Yeah, it is. Good. So whenever you clicked, when you played certain cards, when you did certain things, you would be able to click this one way or the other to get kind of better odds at sailing within that area. And so this was a cool little mechanism where you could rotate this one full 90 degrees to get different values for sailing in those different areas. If you needed longer sailing or what have you, then you'd be able to kind of flip this around, and you'll be able to get maybe more sailing in the south, but that's going to affect north adversely, or same thing, vice versa. So I thought this was a really neat mechanism to kind of change up how you are able to sail for clear weather days. That's basically what this meant. And if you sailed for more than, let me go ahead and put this on there right. So this is the clear weather days. If you sail for more than 5 days in the west, then you'd have to come down here and see what happened. If you sail for more than 2 days in the north, again, you'd have to come down there and see what happens. So I thought that was a really neat mechanism. This card, this game could definitely use some blinged out metal tokens, because these are the cardboard money tokens that come with the base game, so it could definitely use some blinging factor, but that's another thing that comes there as well. And then, of course, you did have some dice for rolling different things. And then we also had, I mentioned earlier, card play. There are rune cards that could be used for a number of different things. Basically, you could add one to each die rolled in the attack, so you got to roll for attacks and that kind of stuff. Or you can load 2 goods in one day, or 2 crew members in one day instead of just one. There's there's a number of different things you can mess with other people, move in other players' longship one space to an adjacent water space, port, or homeland. So there's a number of different things that you could do with all of these different cards. But you did have some rune cards for that, and then you also had these objective cards that you could try to achieve first. And if you did that, this was kind of like a set collection mechanism for the end of the game. Whoever got the most out of the green, the Denmark, Sweden, or Norway cards, whoever got the most got a certain number of points. I can't remember how many, but that was another set collection mechanism in the game as well. The box, of course, leaves a lot to be desired as far as an insert is concerned, but that's pretty much Fire and Axe of Viking Saga. It is a super fun game. Do not believe or listen to what Tom says at all, because he's wrong about this game. Let's see here. Saturday, I need to leave in like 5 to 10 minutes. I'll have to catch this on the rerun. All right, see you later, Kabuki. Take care. Wild when you realize some of your favorite games are as old as they are, right? Despite this one's age, I've never played it. I hate to run away, but my time has come. See you later, Kabuki. Take care. Not My Eyeball is here. Hello, Anthony's. Heller Moons. Hi, Sam. I don't have that one in my collection. Sam, have you already done a live play of this one? No, I haven't. And one of the reasons why is because it doesn't play 2 players, so we have to play at 3. So there's not much I can do about that. I would gladly play this afternoon with Jess, but it's a 3 to 5 player game. It doesn't support 2 player, which is super unfortunate. But I will take any questions at this point as I pack this back up, because the next game we're going to go over is quite the component monsters. So I do need to leave these out though, so I can fix the 2 ships that are in here. So I'm going to leave these guys out so I can fix the sails on those 2 ships. All right, ships go away. One of the cool things about this game is that the component quality is so good. And really the original version also had very nice components. There's nothing bad to say. Oh no! Poop. Linen finish cards slide everywhere. Well, I'm still here, folks. There we go. All right. Sorry, that was probably a gratuitous shot of my posterior. That didn't need to be happening, so I apologize for that. But this has really great components, and it's a really great theme, and it's a good implementation of the theme. I don't like I said earlier, I don't really like the rustic, dark, graphic nature of the board, but at the same time, it doesn't really bother me a whole lot either, so I'm not super worried about it. It's just one of those things that you have to go, well, not what I would have done, but it's okay. I do wish I would have kept my my board from the older version, the 2004 version, because that board looked really good. But I want to say that there was something that they changed on the old board that made it incompatible with the new version. That's probably why I didn't keep it. So, it is what it is. Not much you can do about stuff like that. But let's see. No 2-player, that's unfortunate. Yeah, it is. And it's one of the downfalls of the game, really. But at least they didn't lie and put some janky 2-player rules in it. That's true, Matthew. That is very true. Because that can happen and does happen a lot, I think. All right, so put all these in there. And then this needs to go in there. And then this gets folded up and goes right on top. And the rule book. Make sure we don't, okay, there we go. Turn the rule book around. And that is Fire and Axe, a Viking Saga. But looks good, yes. 52 pickup, it has been a while. Well, it wasn't quite 52, but yeah, that's not something I endeavor to play on a regular. See, Fernando Amaral, great game. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Thank you for agreeing with me on that. I love Fire and Axe, a Viking Saga. It's one of my favorite games. It's on my top 100. And I don't think it'll ever fall off of it. I just enjoy it that much. So that's pretty cool. All right. The next game that we're going to look at is also one of my favorite games of all time. And I don't believe that this game will ever leave my collection. Ever. Like, this will be one of the last games I ever get rid of. And we will be playing it today, this afternoon, on our Time Honored Tuesdays stream at 1:15 this afternoon, Pacific time. We are going to be playing Champions of Midgard. I know you can't see it because it's not on the actual front of the box, but Champions of Midgard with the Valhalla and Dark Mountains expansions. We're going to be playing it with that. I think Jess will be able to handle it. She's a crafty gamer. I'm just hoping that she enjoys it. It is a 2.6. Oh, what am I doing? Hold on. Okay, this has to be like this. This has to be like this. And when I said that there's a lot of stuff in this box, I mean there's a lot of stuff in this box. Boom. All right, there we go. So, and this is kind of a heavy box. This isn't as heavy as the one that's in the Dice Tower library because there's a lot of other stuff in there, but this does have a lot of stuff in it. I was able to get a hold of a lot of the different promos and stuff like that that have come out with the game because a lot of those promos have been Dice Tower promos, but this is just a really cool game. I'm really looking forward to playing this afternoon, actually. So hopefully you guys can come back and join us for that. It will be a very, very fun time. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. This is Champions of Midgard from Gary Fox Games. Ole Steinus is, well, wasn't that something else? There should be a little mark on the inside to let you know which way to lift the lid on. Yeah, that probably would be something I want to try to do, but that's actually pretty funny. All right, so here is the core rulebook. Now, the core rulebook, interesting. I can't remember if this is, yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, this is just the core rulebook. So here you have all of the different things here, the description of the game, the goal of the game, components list right at the very beginning. Here's setup at the very beginning of the game as well. And then you have how you actually play the game. It is a worker placement game, so that is a cool thing. Talks about combat resolution, which is a big part of the game, and how the dice roll and all of that other kind of stuff. Then you have a cleanup phase, and then you have a game end and final scoring. Blame or curses is a big thing in the game as well. Then there's an appendix, FAQ, and credits at the bottom on the back as well. Then you also have rule books for the Dark Mountains and for Valhalla. But these look thick, and these look like they are significant. And I guess that's because there is a bit of stuff that they need to explain. It does put in new dice, the archers, It also puts in new people that you have to go fight, the Bridgeosaurs, the giants. And there are also new land journey cards, and there are also new enemy cards. So there is a good bit of stuff that it adds, but understand that this doesn't add much to gameplay. This just adds different things that you can do while you play the game, different places you can go in the game, but how the game plays doesn't change at all, which is one of the reasons why I like the expansions so much. So that's the Dark Mountains. You can go fight the Bridgeosaurs, and there's some new land cards that you have to go in there, and archers are in there, which have a couple of different uses. It helps you with hunting, and it gives you another kind of hero that you can have in your crews. Now, Valhalla, I think, is probably the more needful, I guess you could say. What really kind of makes this game have its sweet spot is the Valhalla expansion. And first of all, it brings in leader dice, it brings in berserker dice, and it brings in shield maiden dice or shield warrior dice. Not necessarily maidens, but it also brings in sacrifice tokens. So what used to happen, whenever one of your warriors died on a journey in the base game, they just went away. You lost them. Nothing doing. But what this adds in is now, whenever a warrior dice is defeated, you get a token of the matching color, and they can be used to purchase different kinds of cards that will give you other kinds of upgrades, either during the game or at the game end during scoring. And it also came with a couple more leaderboards as well. So this is probably the more needful of the two, but Dark Mountains adds so little, but what it adds is so fun. This adds a lot to gameplay without changing how the game really plays, because all this really does is it gives you one thing to do at the end of your turn. At the end of your turn, you can spend some of these tokens that you've got from dice that have died along the way in your journeys, and that's all it really does. But it's such an interesting mechanism of making these warriors that you spent so much time putting together worth something after they've gone to Valhalla. And it's also a super thematic tie-in as well. So it was just, both of these expansions together are simply irreplaceable in this game. I think once you've played Champions of Midgard with the expansions, you will never want to play it without the expansions. And that, to me, is the true moniker of a great expansion. If you never want to play the game again without it, that's just something pretty cool. Game end, final scoring, quick reference, so that's a pretty cool thing. Then you also have promo instructions, because there were some cards that came that were promos. They had these custom meeples and score markers, and then you also had some merchant ships that were in there as well. You also had, I can't even, what is it, Gulenkambi? Gulenkambi, it's this huge chicken, huge rooster that you can ride around, and it's a ship. But when you take this ship, you don't have to pay your cost. You have to pay food to buy it, because you have to feed it, otherwise it won't work for you. But if this is your ship for the journey, you don't have to pay your warriors food that turn. So it's a public long ship. I thought it was pretty cool. Anyway, a couple more journey and land cards. It's just a really, really fun thing. All right, so here is the Valhalla expansion board. So we can just go ahead and show that. And then this is the Dark Mountains expansion board. And they basically go on top of the board. And you'll see later on, because we are going to play this this afternoon, but I just want to explain what they are. Journey cards go here. The two giant cards go here. And then there's also another person that you can fight over there. So, no, I'm sorry. Those were just spots for the actual cards. So this is the Journeyland card deck, and they'll come out here, and then you'll have the Giants deck here, and you'll flip 2 over to see which ones you have. So that's the 2 expansion boards for the game. The actual main board, as you can see, there's a whole lot of components in there. I'll try to go through them fast, but I do want to show you the board here a little bit. Come on down. What is going on here? There we go. So here's the board, and let me see if I can fit most of it on there. That's pretty good. So here is where most of the worker placement takes place. You can go get more warriors here. You can get more workers here. You can pick up certain blessings here. You can pick up more food here. You have these market stalls over here where you can go different things. This is like a variable setup part of the board. You can go trade with the merchant ships over here, which will be a different value or a different kind of resource or a different deal every round. You can go purchase your ships, your long ships, or you can purchase your private long ships. Down here is where you'll actually be fighting the different monsters that are in the game, and this tells you how much food you have to pay. So if you go to these, you can use 1 food for 2 warriors. This one, it takes 1 food for 1 warrior as you go there. And of course, this column is only available in a 4-player game, but the rest are available everywhere. Let's see, down here at the top of the board, this is actually the top of the board, there are a troll deck, and then there's the active troll, the ones that you have to go fight. If you don't go fight the troll, everybody gets a curse. But if you do go fight the troll, then you give somebody one of the curses that you have, and then you can go fight Draugr that are out here. And this is a cool thing as well. The turn order is right here on the board. So I just think that's a really cool thing that the game does, because it keeps you on track. You can just start at the top, refill everything, refill all the stock, and then turn by turn you assign workers, and then you resolve combat, and then you clean up, and it's just all laid out for you. It's super easy. I really, really enjoy it. And it's one of those games that just has a really cool place in my heart. I really enjoy it. Of course, the track around the outside is where you do all of your victory points here. So that is that. So I'm not going to take all of everything out, but I am going to just show a few, because this is what all of the dice look like. And these are the Hunter's dice. These come in the Dark Mountains expansion. Then you have the dice that come in the Valhalla expansion. You have the pink ones are Berserkers, and the pink ones are basically, they have hammers. There's no shields on this though. There's a miss, there's 1 miss, there's 2 1 hits, and then there are no less than I think 3 double hits. So that's pretty good. And then you have Shield Warriors, which has faces on the dice which give you a shield and a hit. So basically in combat, the monsters are going to do a set number of damage to you, and for every shield that you roll, you lessen that damage. But the Shield Warriors give you a shield and an attack value as well. But there are a double hit here as well, but there is 2 misses as well. So that's pretty cool. And then the leader dice are pretty cool. The leaders will help you in combat as well. They'll help you with 1 or 2 hits, but then they also have a special ability side, which fires off a special ability that only your leader can do, which may or may not help in combat, but it might help somewhere else as well. Are you being quite loud enough over there, young man? He's just scratching. He's just scratching. I do have some of these Zen bins in here that help. These are food and wood. They're kind of lackluster as far as that's concerned. These are the curse tokens that you'll be able to give to other people. These are 100 and 200 side things. Here are the actual sacrifice tokens for all of the different dice that you'll have. You'll have the axe warriors. You have swordsmen. You also have, what's the other one? You also have spearmen, which are the reds, in addition to all the other ones that come in the 2 expansions. So there's that. Here are some of the different market stalls that you'll be able to have. And all of the different market stalls have different kinds of, like if you want a more economic type game, then you can use some of these market stalls. If you want a more militaristic game, you can use these. So I just think it's a really cool system that they have there. We'll put those down like that though. And then here's all the different public longships, and then you have ones that you can actually buy that have, you can only use them for certain player numbers though, so that's neat too. Here are all the different journey cards that you're going to have. These are the different meeples that come in the base game, but the expansions, or one of the promos I think, came out with these Viking meeples. So these are the ones that we usually use. I think those are pretty cool looking. And of course they're all in the different colors. So I don't use these things anymore. I just use these. So that's pretty cool too. But it's a great game. It's got great components. You really need to come back later on this afternoon and check this game out as we play it. So there's, you know, gold tokens. You have blessing tokens, and these are the dice that come in the base game. The axe warriors, the spear warriors, and the sword warriors. So I'm actually really looking forward to playing this game again. Let's start player token. I'm just trying to put all this stuff back in here nice and neat so that we can get everything played easier this afternoon. But that goes in there. These can go right here. And that's pretty much it for Champions of Midgard. There, well, you know, I didn't show the actual boards and all that, so let me show that real quick, because you have, everybody has their own Valhalla board. That's what this is. So whenever one of your warriors dies in combat, you take one of the sacrifice tokens of that same color, and it goes on top of your board. And this is basically just a place for you to hold your sacrifice tokens. That's all these are. Then you also have all of these people. These are all of the different people that can be your leader in battle. So you've got Jorun the Traveler, Thyra the Valkyrie Born, Ragnhild the Advisor, Hemming the Changer, Dagger the Destined, Glypher the Seaworthy, Asmundur the Pious, Uller the Berserker. That guy's picture cracks me up. Then you have Svanhildr the Sword Maiden. And this is just a quick reference guide for all of the different things that are in the game. So I think that's pretty cool as well. But on top of all of those things, you also have this little thing that's basically your your leader's special ability. This came in the expansion, the Valhalla expansion. So Hemming the Changer is a rune carver. So he can activate the effect of a rune card in the supply or gain 1 wood from the supply whenever he rolls the little horned helmet symbol on his blue die in combat. Raghil, the advisor, has field training. So what does he do? Whenever you roll his special ability, you can replace any other die in this battle with a die of your choice from the supply. Roll the new die immediately. So he can kind of change the people that you have in your thing, and all of these different things do something different, and I think that's really cool because it makes your dude special than compared to everybody else's dude. So I thought that was a really cool thing. But I really enjoy this game. I can't wait to play this afternoon. But that has been Champions of Midgard. And like I said, there's a lot to it as far as stuff that comes in the box. But, I gotta make sure. Yep, I got it right. But it is well worth having it in your collection. So that is Champions of Midgard. All right, so let's see here. Do you have Splendor Duel? Would like to see that one with you and Jesse. No, I do not. No, I don't have Splendor. I'm not a big fan of Splendor. I would much rather just play Century Golem. I would much rather play that. Hope I didn't get the name wrong. I don't think you did. There should be a little more. Yep. Karen is here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Karen. Great game. Yes, it is. Laura, thank you for joining us. How I like the dice. Yes, they are. The player mat is a must-have. It finishes out the game real nicely. I actually... Do I have it? I don't know if I have it or not. I want to say I do, but I don't know that I do. I guess we'll find out later. Because now I'm going to look. I don't see it. So I don't think I own the playmat. But maybe I do. I'm going to go look. I think I might see it. I'm going to go look. No, I don't think that's it. Oh, wow, that's a really nice playmat, though. What is this? I just found this playmat. I don't know what it is. I don't know what game it is. Oh, this is for... Oh, okay. I just found this playmat, and I was like, wow, that's really pretty. What is that? Well, it's the one for Atlantis Rising. So I found the playmat for Atlantis Rising. What a nice looking mat. Gosh. Institute Traits artwork. There you go. Well, but that's not for Champions of Midgard. That's not going to help us. I don't think I own the playmat for Champions of Midgard, actually. But I will double check, and we will use it today if I do. If I don't, then we won't. That's pretty funny. So we can put that right there. All right, let's see here. Cool dice on Kickstarter this week. FYI, playmat is the only part I don't have for this. Yeah, I think I might be in the same boat. Sam, can you still get that big box for Champions of Midgard? I don't know. I don't know if I can. I'll reach out to Lance and ask if we can still get this big box for it or not, and maybe I'll have that answer for you this afternoon when we actually play it. I just bought Champions of Midgard off eBay a couple days ago. It arrives tomorrow. Well, congratulations. Yeah. Did Jessie like Donut Shop when she saw it? She was interested in it. She didn't really take a great long look at it, but I think that's going to be one that's right in the middle of her wheelhouse. I think she's going to really enjoy it. So that Atlantis mat is nice, but a little too small in my opinion. Yeah, it could be. You recommended it over Raiders of the North Sea, so I took your advice and bought it. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We will take that into consideration. All right. Well, if we don't have anything else going on, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here because I do have some other stuff I need to do before we come back at 1:15 Pacific time for a game of Champions of Midgard. Coming up. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I think I'm hoping Jess likes it. She likes worker placement games. I just hope that it's not. I hope she enjoys it. I know she'll be able to handle it, but I hope she enjoys it. But anyway, that will be. I bought "Cause You Back on Dice Tower." I bought "Cause You Backed It on Dice Tower." Because. Oh, I see. I get it. Yeah, we've talked about Champions of Midgard for a very long time. It's been a pleasure of mine to play this for a long time. So Tom, TM, one of our moderators, I got to play it with him at Dice Tower West, and that was a good fun time. I got to play it with him and Danny, so that's good. Is that 9:15 UK time? I believe so. I think you guys are 8 hours ahead. The rest of Europe is 9 hours ahead. So yes, I think that is correct. LOL, I was hurrying. Yeah, I understand. Thank you, Donna Anna. All right. Well, it's about 11 o'clock, so I do need to get going. I thank you so much for joining me here for another episode of It Belongs in a Museum. We looked at a 20-year-old game, Fire and Axe, a Viking Saga. Let me go ahead and pull these back in here. So we looked at Fire and Axe, a Viking Saga. This is from 2004. This particular version is a little bit younger than that, but the game itself is from 2004, a 20-year-old game. And this one, Champions of Midgard, is going to be 10 years old next year. Wow, 10 years. Man, oh man, 10 and 20. Look at that. Well, thank you for joining me. We'll see you guys and gals later on this afternoon for time-honored Tuesdays where we're going to be playing Champions of Midgard. So come back for that. And like and subscribe. Hit that bell button so that we can let you know that I'm going live whenever we do or whenever a new video pops up, because we do some edited stuff too. And we'll thank you for it. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.